Dr. Kemi Lawrence, as most of you know, I'm a journalist of 30 years. I retired on February 9th, 2024, and I started on February 9th, 1994. I wish I could go 5 more years because most journalists retire normally between 30 and 35 years. However, it's what happened in Nigeria that kind of put my mind off journalism altogether. Today, I work in PR, my second degree. I'm a public relations specialist, and I represent athletes, celebrities, and companies in their brands. I travel all across the world, so I don't particularly live in any country. I've been in like 12 hotels in the last 12 months, traveling with my clients and working. Now, I generally don't tell anybody what I'm doing, and I don't suggest you tell people what you're doing. But I'm saying this because I got a very huge, juicy offer to cover Diddy's trial in America. The offer came from an international news organization, and you can guess who it is, right? There's a lot of them. But one of them just offered me a lot of money to cover the tea, the trial, everything in that Diddy's, trial, which would mean I have to be living in a hotel in New York to cover the federal district court case in New York. I will be going to court every day. I will be filing stories. I'll be doing what I did as a journalist. And in that capacity, I'll be an entertainment news journalist and I'll be giving live reports from outside the courthouse. Now, this is my area. I love gossip journalism. I love entertainment news. I love celebrity news. However, it's a criminal trial. And most importantly, I am in support of Diddy. Now, I don't care what anybody says, I'm going to support Diddy. I don't think that this whole thing is clear. There's a lot of people involved, there's a lot of things going on, and I've always liked Diddy, I've always loved his job. There's a lot has been exposed about Diddy here, like all this baby oil, all these trafficking allegations, all these different things. Now, if you remember very well, when the Cassie stuff happened, not the video, I'm talking about before the video came out, when Cassie accused him of so many things and he settled with Cassie, what did I say? I said, but Cassie, you should have left a long time ago. A lot of people don't want to leave these relationships because of the money. You should leave when a man abuses you physically or emotionally. Now, all these allegations about trafficking is serious. And I don't play with trafficking, especially those people that traffic girls out of Nigeria into Ghana, into Libya, into all kinds of places, Dubai, lie to them and make them sex slaves, prostitutes, and whatnot. So on that note, all right, I want to see justice, okay, being held. If Diddy was in fact guilty for a lot of these things, then he should serve the 15 years and come out when he's 69 years old. He's 54 now, okay? Now, I have never been Diddy's personal friend, but I've met Diddy maybe a few times. As a music journalist, I've gone to his after parties and I've got to his party in the Hamptons, the white party. Now remember, these parties have party section. Everybody drinks, eats snacks and all. Everybody's wearing white. And then the after party in the party, that's another thing. There's a point where the journalists leave. Okay, Diddy will say, oh yeah, let the kids go home now and blah, blah, blah. That's the journalist as well. So there's nothing I really saw. But I knew Diddy very well from the restaurant days at Justin's in Atlanta when he owned the restaurant that everybody was at. Janet Jackson, Jermaine Dupri, Whitney Houston, Bobby, all of us were in that restaurant at any one time. And that's, where I got to really know Kim Porter. I met Kim Porter on the shoot of the Three Brown Girls on Atlanta Women's Magazine. Atlanta Women's Magazine was a prominent magazine about women. And in 2005, they called me and they wanted to do a story on me. They liked my work in the gist area. I owned ATL Celebrity News. I owned Communications, Media Gossip. And so Atlanta Women's Magazine was doing an edition about special women. And the article was called Miss Pharma Media. Miss Pharma Media was actually in the financial section of the magazine, and it was a financial article about the $112,000 a year that I was making as a pharmacist and a media person. So that's why it was called Miss Pharma Media. today's date is the 24th of September 2024, and we're talking about maybe 19 years later after that article. Now, Kim, Ebony Electoral, and Nicole were on the cover as the three brown girls. So that's where I really first met Kim, and then the restaurant, and many other events in Atlanta. And Diddy has started a long time ago, from Uptown Records to Bad Boy to everything. It's like I saw certain things as a music journalist, and most of what I saw in Diddy's life was um, very professional stuff. Now, if he was doing dark things inside his house and people that were involved in those dark things turned around against him, anything that has to do with slavery, sex, and all that, the police doesn't find it funny. But were these things consensual? This is my question. And I will be watching the trial, but I'm not covering it because of that conflict of interest. I actually am supporting him, and I wanted to see how this will go. If I'm supporting my sons for something and they commit a crime, okay, and the crime is not murder or financial or something that really super harms somebody, regardless, I want to see justice go, on the right course. Now, those charges that Diddy has, none of them mentioned anything about fraud and financial. None of them mentioned murder. So I feel that everybody should just wait and let the justice run its course, only because we have a situation in America, which I think most of you outside America must know, and that information basically is getting a fair trial. I don't think there's anywhere in America that Diddy can really get a fair trial. They're going to have to put this case in some little town or something. I don't know. This is a U.S. federal district, court case, and he will not get a fair trial in New York. That I can tell you. However, because everybody knows Diddy, everybody has read about it. There's so many jokes. There's so many videos. There's a baby oil template everybody's playing around with on TikTok. But this stuff is not funny. It's very serious charges. I personally like Diddy. I just feel that maybe he didn't really, I don't know. I mean, thinking about what Kanye said Diddy is not too much at fault because he was working for other people. You know, who are these bigger people he was watching, was working for? I have questions for the FBI. The tapes they seized at Diddy's house. I mean, obviously, some people gave the FBI a lot of information that they went to his house to raid it, but we're reading so much in the blogs about the tapes. He made tapes and he sold it on the dark web for 500 million. Where are these stories coming from? Who knows what amount he sold them for? If he in fact sold tapes. If you sell a tape in the dark web, it's what's supposed to happen to the people paying for the tapes? They're supposed to use it, post it out, and use it to what? Blackmail the stars or the celebrities in there? We haven't seen a lot of these tapes. We haven't. I've seen one tape of Diddy ejaculating, having an orgasm, but I don't know where that came from. You can only see Diddy screaming his head off. You don't know who's on the other side of his genitals and everything. You can't see that part. But people are saying that even the FBI leaked that, and they've started leaking things that they're not supposed to leak. So at the end of the day, I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt and see how this trial works. This is a very interesting trial, and we must really hear from all parties. I don't know how they're going to subpoena people. I don't know how they're going to put in witnesses. But one thing I'm really glad about, I know this is weird, but though I support Diddy, I'm going to give him my own support and encouragement. One thing I'm not really, that I'm really kind of glad about is that he's actually behind bars, because if he was outside on bail, this whole thing about intimidating witnesses, changing testimony and all that could even work against him. So it's better for him to be behind bars. That way he wouldn't have contact to any witnesses. I wish Diddy good luck, but I wouldn't be taking that assignment. I will be watching everything. Thank you for listening.